Hey everyone. Okay, so right out of the gate, one of the biggest reveals of this episode is Loki has met Rox in the past. And that as he told Luffy, Rox to him is what Shanks is to Luffy. The picture in his mind of what a warrior and a pirate looks like. And honestly, when you do take a step back and look at Loki as a character, it's not hard to see why he looks up to Rox, for as twisted as that sounds, but also how his views on strength truly crystallized and took shape after he met Rox. He didn't just look up to Rox, but he used him as a measuring stick of just what strength looks like. So for as misguided as his views of strength and weakness are, it's not hard to see why he views the world that way after the encounter. Now, it should be noted as well, the anime does add a little bit more flourishing details to Rox's introduction in this scene where he and Loki meet. As in the manga, it was just a flat out forward-facing silhouette, but the anime shows a lot more detail in Rox's features, giving us a better view of what he looks like. And honestly, I do kind of prefer the anime just for giving us more like kind of just a lot more to work with in terms of what Rox looks like, while still teasing us as to what his full appearance is. On a somewhat lighter note, this episode also gives us a small bit of world lore building that Nash, Goldberg's shield, was passed down to him after a failed campaign his father was on to kill Big Mom. And yeah, it was obvious from the jump that Nash was a homie, but it's interesting how small little details like that really help flesh out Elbaf's history and how much Big Mom has been kind of a looming presence in that history long after the whole thing with Caramel. With that said, we also get one of the many Summers, you sick, twisted fuckface moments in this arc where you see the bastard in question relishing at how the kids they wanted to recruit are gonna burn to death. Do you pretty much see why this guy has spawned him on steroids and why I hate his fucking guts so much? Like, seriously, I know at this point that this kind of behavior is already expected of world nobles and whatnot, but somehow the depravity of it all just keeps reaching new heights that makes me more furious and more angry and just nauseous at looking at this sick, twisted shit that they just love relishing in. Like, seriously, motherfucker? Like, like again, I know all this is fully expected of world government and especially world nobles, but Sommers, like, this is just a taste of how far he takes his depravity. Like, the man absolutely fucking is absolutely the worst fucking piece of shit on the planet to me. Even worse than Spawnum, because at least to Spawnum's credit, I can say that even though he was a monster, he was also a fucking idiot. Spondum or Sommers is all of Spondum's worst traits in the with someone who actually has more of a was actually more cunning and has more of a brain to him for as much as I hate to say it. And I think that's what infuriates me more about the guy. With that said, this episode reaches the final penultimate moment where Jinbei comes in with a clutch move, dousing the fire and to in effect saving the children even if they're still under Killingham's spell. And yeah, this is one of those moments that while hype does make me ask the question, did it really have to take this many episodes for us to get to this point? Again, if I've done my calculations correctly, I know where they're planning to end this in this first core, and it is a diabolical way to end it. But in planning it out that way, it does force me to critique this moment a little bit by saying, did we really have to wait this long to get to this point? And again, I know I answered my own question by going into the planning of stages of this core, but it does feel like we waited too long to resolve just the fire dilemma, and even more so because it took so long in order to solve it. It does make me ask the question: with us having 25 episodes in this core, did we need 25 episodes? Like it feels like it could have been a little bit shorter because with 25 it did feel like that they definitely like had to drag this moment out a little bit too long. Like I hope like if I do have one wish for like core 2 and beyond after this, I hope more than anything they get better at episode management because it's and we kind of avoid having moments like this, especially with like the Wit Studio adaptation of One Piece coming across the quarter. That like that one is gonna even though it's only gonna be 7 episodes, which is a little too little. Like it is gonna be an experience of like without all the filler and without all as much of the dragging out. So it's like yeah, it feels like we still haven't fixed, even though we fixed arguably a bit of the pacing issue, we still do have a fundamental problem with certain aspects of that as well. Um, of course, it's all a fleeting victory as the episode ends with Gunko facing down the Straw Hats ready to fight. And yeah, this is where we start praying, people, because this moment right here is the opening salvo where the Straw Hats and the government come to direct blows, and it's gonna get really ugly really fast, and with that, a lot of complications. Like trust me, Gunko herself is like I think I've said this before. Gunko is a whole can of worms when it comes to the relation to the Stryads, because trust me, she actually does have relation to, she does share a relation with a certain Straw Hat for sure. But so it's yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see all that play out now. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Blue Sky, Analyst Cruncher, Blue Sky Analyst, and Blue Sky and Analyst, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight, have a nice signing off. Later, everyone.